Hey everyone, welcome back to Ledger Life. Before we start, a quick note: if you enjoy the work we do here and want to support independent crypto reporting, you can send a donation using the QR codes shown on the screen. Let's start with the lending experiment. A project called Menese Protocol has opened a community testing phase for a lending system that runs on the Solana network. The idea behind the system is fairly simple but unusual compared with most DeFi platforms. Borrowers can take out loans, and according to the project, they only need to return the exact amount they borrowed. There is no interest added to the loan over time. During this early testing phase, users can borrow up to about 8,000 US dollars or the equivalent value in supported stable assets like USD coin. Most decentralized lending platforms work differently. Normally, when you borrow funds in DeFi, you pay interest that changes depending on market conditions. If demand for loans rises or liquidity drops, interest rates can increase. That means borrowers sometimes end up paying more than they expected when they first opened a loan. Menese Protocol says its model removes that uncertainty by eliminating interest altogether. As long as the borrower eventually returns the principal, the cost of the loan stays the same. There is, however, a small condition built into the system. If a borrower closes the loan within the first 90 days, they face a small exit fee. The project describes this as a way to discourage people from quickly borrowing and repaying funds just to capture incentives. Once that 90-day period has passed, users can repay the loan whenever they want without additional fees. In other words, after the initial window, borrowers simply return the original amount. The project is currently running this as a community beta test rather than a full release. The first pool of lending capacity is limited to $50,000 and is being allocated on a first-come basis. Early participants also receive an incentive. Borrowers who take part in that initial pool are expected to receive 5,000 Menese tokens alongside their loan allocation. Token incentives like this are fairly common when DeFi platforms launch early testing programs. They help attract users who are willing to try the system and provide feedback while developers refine the platform. According to the team, the protocol works through non-custodial wallets. That means users maintain control of their assets while interacting with the system instead of handing them over to a centralized service. The architecture is also described as bridgeless and connected to infrastructure linked to the Internet Computer Protocol. Cross-network experimentation between Solana and Internet Computer Infrastructure has appeared in a few projects over the past few years as developers explore ways to combine features from different ecosystems. Still, interest-free lending models often raise questions about long-term sustainability. Traditional lending platforms depend on interest payments to reward lenders and keep liquidity pools functioning. Projects experimenting with alternative structures sometimes rely on treasury reserves, token incentives, or other financial mechanisms. That means the real test often comes later, once early incentives fade and more users begin interacting with the system. For now, Menese Protocol says the goal is simply to observe how the platform performs in real-world conditions while the pool remains limited in size. Let's move on to the next story. Liquidium has introduced direct deposits for two tokenized assets known as ckBTC and ckUSDT. If you are not familiar with those tokens, ckBTC represents Bitcoin within the Internet Computer ecosystem. It mirrors the value of Bitcoin but is designed to interact directly with apps on that network. ckUSDT works in a similar way. It reflects the value of the USDT stablecoin while allowing it to operate inside the Internet Computer environment. With this update, users can now move these assets directly into their Liquidium accounts. At the moment, both tokens are available in what the platform calls deposit-only mode. This means users can transfer the assets into the system, but other features connected to them may come later. Liquidium has been building a lending platform centered around Bitcoin-backed loans. Borrowers can secure loans using digital assets, while lenders provide liquidity through on-chain contracts. Introducing deposit functionality first is a fairly common approach. Many DeFi platforms roll out new token support in stages. The infrastructure comes first, and lending markets or other features follow once the integration is fully tested. Stablecoins like USDT are widely used across decentralized finance because their value tends to remain stable compared with more volatile assets. Bitcoin-based assets are also frequently used as collateral, especially by users who want to access liquidity while keeping exposure to Bitcoin. The internet computer ecosystem has spent several years working on ways to bring external assets such as Bitcoin into its network. Developers often highlight something called chain key cryptography, which is intended to allow assets like Bitcoin to interact with internet computer apps without relying on traditional bridging systems. Cross-chain integrations remain an area where many developers are experimenting. Security and reliability are always major considerations when assets move between networks. For now, Liquidium's update simply allows users to move ckBTC and ckUSDT into their accounts while further features are developed. Our third story involves a DeFi project appearing in the discovery section of a platform called OISY. Sphere Finance has been listed in the Explore section of OISY, which introduces the project to users browsing decentralized applications connected to the internet computer ecosystem. OISY acts as a kind of gateway where users can access wallets and decentralized apps through a single interface. The Explore section functions as a discovery area. Users can scroll through available projects, learn about them, and interact with them directly through the platform. Sphere Finance promotes a model based on treasury-driven yield. Instead of relying mainly on liquidity mining incentives, the protocol focuses on maintaining a treasury and deploying those assets across partner platforms. The returns generated from those strategies form the basis of the yield offered to participants. Automation plays an important role here. Treasury funds are placed into different strategies through programmed mechanisms rather than manual decisions from individual users. Projects across DeFi have experimented with many different methods of sustaining returns. Some rely heavily on token emissions, while others try to generate income through treasury management and partnerships. Sphere Finance falls into that second category. Governance within the protocol is tied to long-term staking. Users who lock their tokens gain voting rights that allow them to participate in decisions affecting the protocol. Those decisions might include treasury allocations, integrations with other platforms, or changes to how the system operates. Staking-based governance is common across decentralized finance, though some critics argue that large token holders can end up with more influence over voting outcomes. By appearing in the OISY Explore section, Sphere Finance becomes easier for users in that ecosystem to discover. Discovery platforms like OISY are trying to simplify access to decentralized applications by bringing multiple services together in one place. For Sphere Finance, the listing offers visibility among users already exploring the internet computer environment. And finally, our last story touches on a discussion about developer activity in the internet computer ecosystem. Dominic Williams, the founder of the Internet Computer Project, recently responded to claims circulating online about GitHub repositories connected to a tool called Caffeine AI. Some observers had noticed that a large number of repositories appeared during the year and that many were linked to an account called Caffeine Pub. That led to speculation that automated bots might be generating projects. Dom responded by saying that none of those repositories were created by a bot run by the DFINITY Foundation. According to him, the repositories come from users who are building applications through Caffeine AI. Caffeine AI is designed as a development tool that allows people to generate apps using prompts and automated coding assistance. The goal is to make application development easier, especially for people who may not have a traditional programming background. Dom also explained that the repositories visible on GitHub represent only a small portion of the activity linked to the platform. There are limits on how frequently projects can be synchronized with GitHub, so only some applications appear there at any given time. He added that the repositories which do appear are those that have already been pushed live for use. These include a variety of projects, from everyday applications to personal experiments created by users. Dom suggested that the total number of apps created through the system already runs into the hundreds of thousands. There are also plans to encourage more users to publish projects through their own GitHub accounts rather than through shared publishing profiles. There are also plans to encourage more users to publish projects through their own GitHub accounts rather than through shared publishing profiles. The broader conversation highlights how artificial intelligence is starting to change software development across the technology industry. Coding assistants capable of generating functions or entire apps from prompts are becoming increasingly common. Supporters say these tools allow many more people to build software. Critics sometimes question how developer activity should be measured when AI tools are involved. The discussion around Caffeine AI reflects that wider shift happening across the tech world. And that's it for today's update. Before we wrap up, just a quick reminder. If you want to support the work we do here at Ledger Live, you can send a donation using the QR codes displayed on your screen. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching Ledger Live, and we'll see you in the next one.